Welcome back to the show, everybody. Yo, just a quick little installment of the Savage era. That boy Kofi going to WrestleMania, baby! And all it took was two gauntlet matches. Two of them. Two. You understand? Two. Right? Two. Two of them. I don't get it. But I sat there because like the thing is, I'm gonna be for real. It's like watching that gauntlet match was like being in like a sleep deprivation tank because, excuse me, we gonna let it run. Is that I wasn't looking at a clock, I wasn't looking at my phone. I was like concentrating on the match because a lot of times it's like depending on like what the time frame is of how much time is left in the show, you can kind of see like what the booking is going to do given the time that they have to try to book something. It was just accidental that I just didn't have my phone and I just wasn't looking at it, so I didn't know that I'm thinking after the 10 count for that boy Ron, I'm thinking like, well, Vinnie Mac finna come storm out here. He's like, oh no chance, you gotta face 5 more tag teams, and it didn't happen. Instead, Charlie Baltimore went back there and Vince McMahon was like, I'm Charlie Baltimore. Vince McMahon, what do you think? Kofi's going to WrestleMania, but can he whoop Daniel Bryan? So now we've got a whole week to build this program. Well, not because the program has been building through all the hoops that Kofi Kingston has had to literally jump through. Has literally had to jump through to get to this opportunity. The question is that will they? Is that next week is going to be really, really interesting to really see like where this build is going to go. To try to see if you can try to guess like what booking angle we're going at this from. I gotta say that gauntlet match was amazing. The best part of the match wasn't even any wrestling involved. It was history between two great tag teams. Usos came out there, we forfeit. And they sat up here, gave Big E the time to rest. They sat up here like, yo, respect, love, this penitentiaries, we out. And I'm just like, that was classy. That was classy. Like, Sheamus and Cesaro put Big E through a table, and the Usos could have came out there and picked them scraps in any way they so chose. But respect Knuckles. I'm like, yo, I'm with that. I am with that. I'm like, and I just wanted to just get on the mic real quick on the little mini Savage Era joint to be like, my boy Kofi is going to WrestleMania. Now, just because he's booked don't mean he gonna win the match. We don't know. It would be nice to see Kofi wear the championship just for a little while. To get, like, because I talked about this, like, when it first became a thing, like, when I really thought when Mark Henry did that fake retirement and whooped John Cena ass, that they was going to give him a run with the World Heavyweight Championship. That didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I will say this, just if we talk about Mark Henry, Hall of Fame Mark Henry is some of the best stuff I've ever seen in professional wrestling. No lie. I just love Hall of Fame Mark Henry. Because somebody gonna get their ass kicked. And somebody gonna get their wig split. Okay, I'm gonna quit singing that because I might get a copyright strike. That sounds too much like 3 6 Mafia. Look though. Really quickly, some other things. Why is Charlotte the SmackDown Women's Champion? I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know. I don't even get that. Like, I watched that match and it's like understanding like why the match was in the first place. That made my head hurt a little bit. Watching Asuka tap out again for no reason, I still don't get it. And then later Asuka was sitting back there with Naomi. So I wonder. Well, actually, because that's one of the things is that I have no idea like what that fatal 4-way for the women's tag team championship is supposed to be. Well, actually, damn, I do. It don't involve them because what? You got Beth Phoenix and Natalya. I'm assuming you're gonna have thick bad girls in there, and the Iconics because they got to win over the tag team champions and they're non-title match. So it kind of makes sense. So I can see the Empress and Glow getting together. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who I thought were going to be like your champions coming in when they finally did this tag team women's stuff or whatever. So it'll be a time for them soon enough. it this the main event of WrestleMania, because we still don't know what's going to headline the show, because you got Cole headlining, but what's going on in the show? Is it going to be Seth, or is it going to be Ronda Rousey and the man and the queen? Because do we mention Brock Lesnar? We don't mention absentee people here. You know what I'm saying? This is not a show where we mention popes who just show up when they feel like it. But when they show up, it's amazing. But you gone like 99% of the time. So why mention you? You know, I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, everything else with WrestleMania. I love the Shane Myth stuff. This build is dumb. Like, I sit at home on the toilet and look at me whooping your daddy's ass, and it's just like, okay, all right, Shane, I see you, my dude. You the same dude who knows soul jumping out of a helicopter. You can do anything you want, Shane. I'm like, this next week before we get to WrestleMania is going to be interesting, because it's a lot of builds. You know what I'm saying? You got TakeOver coming. Like 205 Live might do something that has something to do with Buddy Murphy, maybe. There are 2 women's battle royals. So that kickoff show was gonna be action packed, boy. Hell yeah, gonna be action packed. But again, the point of me getting on the mic was, I want to see this all the way through. I'm like, I just had to get on the mic, man, before I got back to my other business, to be like, my boy Kofi's going to WrestleMania. 2 gauntlet matches later. It should have been no gauntlet matches later, but I guess but see, the thing is, what's interesting is, now that I think about it before we get up out of here, that is an interesting way to build up a program. 2 gauntlet matches. 2 of them, because it's like, now I think about this, that's a little more genius than even I'm willing to give it credit for. Because see, the build is very similar to the Daniel Bryan joint, in the way of, I underestimate you because you not that good. You are nothing. You are nothing. So you in an accident, Peru, because I don't really think when original gauntlet match was a thing that we would be looking at this 2 months later, and Kofi Kingston would be it would be wrestling for the World Heavyweight Championship. I really didn't think so. When you, cause like, think about it, for real. You watching this right now, think about it before we get up out of here. 2 months ago, were you thinking that Kofi Kingston was going to be wrestling for a major title at WrestleMania? No, you didn't. There may have been one Kofi fan out there holding out some hope, but because he saw with New Day, it's like, that's not a thought that came across your head. You didn't expect Kofi to go out in that gauntlet match, in that original. So technically, this build has been 3 gauntlet matches and an elimination chamber. That's a lot of gauntlet matches and elimination chambers. So to really think about this build, started from Kofi showed what he always could do, which got the attention. Then the elimination chamber became something else all entirely, because of which then started this, which ended us where we are right now, with 12 days from WrestleMania, and Kofi Kingston is going to be wrestling for the WWE Championship. That is crazy to think about. But I'm happy with my boy Kofi. But the thing is that we got at least 2 more episodes of the Savage Era minimum before we get to the grandest stage of them all. So be staying tuned for that, because it's probably going to be something similar next week around this time, after SmackDown go off, or I may wait till after 205 Live and NXT do their thing on Wednesday night or whatever, after NXT on Wednesday, because then at that point you'll have a full, like, legitimate scope of what the card is, and we can sit and we can discuss it for a minute, so we can see what that's going to be. But if there's any more developments on this Kofi work, I'm going to be on it, because I'm glad I didn't make a video when Big E and the boy Xavier were making these videos talking about, man, we might leave. Now, see, I will speak on that for a minute since it's on my mind. See, a couple of years ago, you would have done that and you'd have been, yo, that's part of the storyline, bruh. That's storyline. You wouldn't even question that. With AEW making moves every day, and this being the Savage era, it is really hard to separate fact from fiction. Kayfabe and not kayfabe, as it were. You know what I'm saying? Like, to really separate that. And it's like, that's good storytelling. Because if you can't look at something directly, and as a wrestling fan who's like kind of sort of in the know, and identify that immediately as kayfabe work, then I'm like, because I'm like, honestly, for real, look at, because I saw both of those videos, and I was gonna do something, but I wasn't sure about whether or not that was kayfabe or what, or were they really shooting, or was it a work? I couldn't tell, because you had exactly like, cause Big E was one thing, like he was just sitting up. I just think he was just saying what was on his mind, and it's like it came off like, yo, he might literally be bang bang banging. Like Xavier, it's like I wasn't really sure, because I got questions about like what would really happen to up down down if he left the WWE. Like, does he own that? Is that a WWE thing? I don't know anything about that, and it ain't none of my business. But that's an interesting question to ask, because again, I couldn't tell you in them videos. I couldn't tell whether that was kayfabe, but I cannot tell for real. And trying to put it in a context, because AEW such this thing. Was this a work or was this a shoot? I couldn't tell. Given what happened tonight, they may have been straight work, but it might have been a lot of shots fired. Not really sure. That could partially be for real. That even if they were working it, they might have been shooting straight from the hip and like really telling what it was that they felt on the inside, and that may have gave them the opportunity, and like that and the fans' reaction to Kofi being in his position may have been what have pushed booking over the edge for Vince to be like, yo, let it rock. This may have been the plan all along. Who knows? But we'll see whether or not the WWE cash in them chips on Kofi and he walks out the champion at WrestleMania. Well, yeah, like I said, at a minimum. Another one probably covering this, and then another one discussing the card in full, and then WrestleMania itself. I got some plans, you know what I'm saying, revolving around some stuff around next week, so that might pop off at any time between now and next Sunday of things that I want to do. So we'll see. Regardless of that, bang, shoot. Look. We have got more show for you, yo. I'm like, it's a lot of work that still needs to be done. Like usual, rolling with the congregation got me with me. Bessie and Janine's on the unos, dos, tres, and cuatros. Stay winning around here. Never these else. Never. Look, we've got more show for you, so please sit back, relax, and stay tuned. I am who I am, the one and only triple the G.O.D. You know who everybody else is. You know what we do around here. This is the part where I do this. More show for Wow You after VHESC's commercial messages. And I'm not going to spell that part. But can you spell maniacal laugh? I can. I wouldn't have spelling bee with that. No bullshit. Bang. More show after these commercial messages.